So she punks out.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to scare the guests.
I was knocking back that white powder.
God.
No comment.
But at least it's not on her nose this time.
No, she learned to wipe that off.
Oh, that's good.
Anyway. Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Patriot Patch Company and Camerado. And tonight only, Alpen Optics.
And BC Powder.
And BC Powder. Brought to you by BC Powder, the home remedy for arthritis.
That's right. Are you feeling arthritic? You need to go get some BC Powder and
go get the good white stuff, the stuff that works. BC Powder.
Yes, it definitely works.
I
don't sniff lines, but I definitely knock them back. Definitely knock them back.
Not endorsed by the United States military at all. BC Powder takes me back.
And we have a latecomer. Speaking of the U.S. military, and you missed it, Chris. We were talking about BC Powder and snorting lines.
Well, hello, stranger.
Chrissy knows. He's like, oh, God, the simple word that I hate the most. BC. Freaking BC. Oh, they didn't even have the fast pain relief when I was in. Nope.
You got ibuprofen.
God.
Oh, sorry.
Maniacs ain't right tonight.
I didn't even get any Tylenol for my cramps and stuff. They just said, suck it up, Buttercup.
There you go.
Drink water, rub some dirt on it, walk it off.
That's right.
Sounds to me like you've been talking to Jason Trumbo too much, Tyler. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
That's right.
Oh, Lord. So how's everybody doing today? It's a wonderful Tuesday. Oh, my Lord.
Well, at least I know why I have this stupid-ass cough that I've had since the beginning of February. So it went from influenza A to just having the cough, and now it's turned into pneumonia. So I'm on an antibiotic. So I will bless the listenership this evening by not talking much. So.
Oh, that is so sad. That is sad. But we got Sharinda, though. I guess
she'll make up for it.
She'll definitely make up for it with all the wonderful questions and nagging and spirit.
And trying to acquire.
I gotta entertain myself some kind of way.
Yeah, you do.
Just wanted one day without Sharinda. That's all I wanted.
Did not work out very well for you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I gave you a whole weekend of not nagging.
It's true.
Tyler had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I even gave him Monday.
But I was in the wonderful, great state of Iowa in Des Moines, which there's not a whole lot there.
And Tyler.
And that's why we call it idiots out wandering around.
Oh, there definitely were that. It was funny. Some of them were boxing in midair, you know.
That's how they always are. It's Iowa. Like Mike says, they're idiots out wandering around. Their driving's the worst because they're either going 100 miles an hour or they're going super slow.
Oh, it reminds me of Texas.
And they love to go from 100 to 0 with no warning.
Real quick. It's like, oh, you want to brake lights? No. We won't do that here. We don't do that here.
Brake lights are illegal.
They are. They're blasphemers. So how's everybody else? Jim, Ray, Chris, Nick? How's everybody been since last I've been on, which is a little over a year now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been good.
You were supposed to come on last fall, but you got busy and we got busy. So
yeah, I got real busy real quick. And I'm going to be busy till August this year doing God's amounts of shows. God's amount.
It's a good thing.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good like an influenza cough. It's real good. So
I'll drink to that.
Oh, mercy. So what do you guys want to know about today? I know what Sharinda wants to know. She asks me every damn day. But
I know we got to see a couple of things at SHOT, but I meant to put a video out, but life got busy and completely forgotten. It's probably still in this thing, needing to be moved over to the computer and edited and posted.
Probably had a headache or something and forgot.
No. It just, Vegas, you know how things get with SHOT, and it just
Lord.
goes their way and you completely forget until like, wait, oh, that's right, Tyler's coming on. Oh, I forgot the video.
Did you know that they changed the dates for SHOT Show next year?
No, I didn't.
No. To what?
20th and the 23rd.
Oh, that's right.
Not
They
that far out of.
Yeah, they're looking at trying that differently this year. Yeah,
Are they going to try and
not.
avoid AGN?
probably
I don't-
not.
I doubt it. I mean, because you got the concrete show that goes on in the same week. AVN goes on during the same week. At least it did this year.
Pretty much every year.
Yeah. So it's coffee. God, that's all she drinks is coffee. Do you ever drink water, Sharinda? Ever?
Yeah,
Water-
she drinks water.
Probably
When
not.
I make
Just
the
filtered through
coffee.
coffee grounds.
When I make the coffee.
Lord Jesus. Yeah, I don't know why they're changing their show hours or show days, which is odd to me. It really is.
Well, it was
It's been like that
it
for
was
3
the
years.
second. It's the second to last week. It was the second last week this year. What's it look?
Yeah,
like next year?
It was last year and the year before.
Yeah, maybe. It's
I
just
don't know why they're
Convention
just
center.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. No idea. I do know CES is before the week before. Yeah, I don't know.
They actually had a gap this year between CES and SHOT Show because they were able to get in earlier this year. Because I follow their Instagram and Facebook and all that, and they
Maybe
were
that's
able
what-
to get stuff in earlier, like almost whole week earlier.
Oh, maybe
I
that's
remember.
Maybe that's what
So.
it was.
I'll ask you this because I haven't had a chance to ask any other companies. Did the show feel down to you attendance wise this year?
It's hard for me to tell because I never get to get out and actually explore like everybody does usually. It would be nice if they actually gave us the overall numbers, but they never usually do. At least,
Yeah.
they don't. Hard to say because I don't know what the what Caesar's Forum looked like. To be honest,
With where you guys are at, you really don't get a good perspective of it either. You're not on a main.
we're on the main floor, but we're on the back end of the main
Yeah.
floor, so we're against the wall. Hopefully next year we'll change that. Hopefully, we'll see. This next year's our 30-year anniversary, so we shall see. We shall see.
Well,
It's-
happy
it
early
seemed
anniversary.
down. It
Well,
seemed
right.
down to me compared to last year, though. It did.
It's hard to tell because since they opened up Caesar's Forum now, it's not in one aspect or one
Yeah.
location, and that's where it may be a little misleading because, I mean, everybody has to come through the front of Venetian.
Yeah.
Anymore, you can't go through Caesar's like you could years ago. But I don't know. Now that they got the archery pavilion up and moving around, that was the second year, and it's probably going to explode again next year with even more people. It may get bigger than what it did last year. So.
So what's Arkin got new this year?
Well, Alpen's got
Alpen. I'm sorry. I called
Arkin.
him
I'm like, what are you
Alpen.
talking about, Arkin? I'm like, what?
Names are too close.
Alpen.
Alpen.
No, it didn't.
Alpen.
R and Al are not even close.
Alpen.
With that being said, I got to read the thing that Sharinda posted. Oh, good God. Always about fucking coffee mugs. I gave you a coffee mug for the love of Pete. Gave you one.
No,
even had
I
it
bought that
legally
coffee
engraved.
mug and you engraved it for me.
Which
You
didn't cost
give
you
me that one.
You
That's
don't
true.
want a polo. Polos are junk anyway. Anyway.
They give me
Right?
a
You already
rifle scope.
know what's new because you already know what's new because you saw them at SHOT Show. We got thermals, got a clip-on unit, two 640s. I'm not bringing out 384s. It didn't make any sense to bring out any 384s. They're traditional rifle scopes, a 35 millimeter and a 50 millimeter, along with a shorter compact version that has a laser rangefinder built into it, that has a quick release adapter. It's a 35 and a 50 mil as well. They all record. They all shoot on record. They take pictures. They have ballistic calculation, 5 different zero set profiles. You can remote into them and see what they're doing. The clip-on should be releasing along with the rest of them by the end of this month. And Sharinda, you're not getting one. A quart thermos as my mug. Yeah, Vanessa, don't get me started. No. Someone with a Bottomland Stanley thermos over the weekend, which that should be mine, by the way. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
You want one?
I mean, if you're offering.
I mean, we'll quit talking shit.
Yeah.
Have I not hooked you up with cups when you've mentioned you've liked certain cups?
Well, there's always stipulation when it comes to you.
Hey, Tyler.
Yes,
I can
sir.
hook
No,
you
my
up.
stipulations come ahead of time.
I can hook you up. No strings attached.
Oh, well, no strings are good. And then, guys, you also know, Nick and Ray, that we have red dots. We have, it's called the Argus series. We have a subcompact, a open sight, and a enclosed red sight, along with a prism red sight or red dot, which is, to me, it's a prism / magnifier because it's at a 3x24. It's not a true magnifier, but it's magnified, if that makes any sense.
Is that the
But it
one
was
I
a-
got?
Hell no, you ain't got that one. You got the enclosed, nerd.
I'm still waiting for my small little one for like my 43X.
You mean
I'm still waiting.
Is it subcompact?
Yeah.
Well, they'll be here. They'll be soon. And that's so the subcompact and the open or RMR cuts, depending on your pistol. There are too many pistols for me to understand or know. So look on the top of your slide. If there's a slide cut out, just take the screws out and see which one it is. It's the best advice that I can give you, because I've had, oh God, how many customers or people came up to me in Iowa? 10 came up to me and literally pulled out their pistol. It's like, oh God, you idiots. It's like, just pull them out. I was like, did you clear that? Oh yeah. It's like, that won't fit anything. Put it away. It's like, go
Nick,
on.
that microscope you're talking about, is that the LT, the Argus LT?
No, it should be the SKU number is a 2650, right, on the website.
All right.
It
How
may
the hell
or
It's
did
the
you
op-
remember?
There's
SKU
one that says
numbers?
open, one that says closed, Dad. The open is the one I'm wanting.
no, that's the big one. You want the subcompact.
It might. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe
It
it's
may
not
not be on there
yet.
yet. It may not be on the site yet because we don't have them. So
Yeah, because it's just got the LTs on there.
yeah, that's the standard RMR along with the enclosed. So the emitters, they're all the same. They're 32 MOA outer with a 3 MOA inner, and you can reverse in between the three or have them both up at the same time. Sharinda knows she acquired one miraculously last week because it's Sharinda. She's not going to acquire a thermal no matter how many times she begs, pleads, and asks. She's not getting one.
I'm still not gonna stop asking.
I'll show you one, but you're not going to get one.
I
Big
know.
hearts.
I
Big
don't
hearts.
bring in the professional videos and
I
high
got
fence
no idea.
hunts.
There ain't. I mean, you may be able to test one for me. if
I
that's
would
what
love
you
to test one. I didn't expect
Uh,
y'all to give me one. I just want to play with it.
Uh-huh. I
Try to
broke
get-
it. I broke it. Tyler, I don't know what happened to it. It fell. It broke.
Yeah. Then why is it still on Instagram? Oh, those are old pictures.
Those were old pictures. Mhm. So, I mean, that's really what's new currently. This year it's going to be kind of interesting due to our wonderful president in chief and commander and what he's wanting to do with the tariffs. So it'll be also interesting to see what's going to happen in the great and glorious shit show that is politics, as always. So that's really it. Short and
I'm
sweet.
dealing with politics right now in middle of nowhere, Texas.
The only good thing about that, your competitors are going to be feeling the same thing. So,
100% agree. I mean, there are some competitors that they're not fulfilling dealer orders because they're more worried about mass market, which I get. Mass market's your bread and butter, but taking care of the little people, the little folks, that is the backbone of all industries. That's who you take care of first. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. You know, how much does a thermal scope weigh? I don't know. Be more specific. There's more.
I mean, you know the damn SKU number, the one that you let me hold and look and peek through those people's windows at lunch.
Whoa.
Whoa. Exactly. Whoa.
Classified information, Sharinda. Classified information. Let's see here. We're looking at 957 on the rifle scopes, standard rifle scopes or traditional style. Now, the ones that you can pre-mount, 632 grams plus or minus. So
I forgot to ask you, does that one come with the rings too?
The traditional style?
The thermal scope that I got
Yeah,
to
the
take
traditional.
a look at.
Traditional rifle scope. It looks just like a regular everyday rifle scope. The other one doesn't look. It's squattier. It's got a quick release on it. So the traditional style, I don't think it will come with rings.
You said 600 some grams?
632 grams on the smaller one, the one with the rangefinder built in it, and then 937 on the traditional.
Wow, the traditional's over two. Yeah,
that's
454 grams in a pound. So
you're looking at about a pound and a half, close to 2.
Pound and a half, and over 2 pounds on the other one.
Yeah, because it's longer tubed, longer bodied. But again, and then you got the clip-on unit, which is just, it's literally no bigger than my phone.
Yeah.
Right. And this is a 14 Pro Max. So it's not that, and that's the thing that people are going to have to realize and understand. It does have the fact that you can mount a adapter on the bottom end of it at a 1/4-20, because if you put that on a rifle that with a 50 millimeter objective or smaller, doesn't matter, it's hanging off that scope at least 3 to 4 inches, and it's pulling it. So if you don't have an adapter to sit there and raise it up or keep it flush, oh boy, you may have a little bit of not flexure, but sighting may be a little off. And that's the cool thing about when you sight these things in, is it does throw a picture-in-picture at the very top of it with crosshair. And then when you get into the ability to move or calibrate the reticle, whether the rifle scope or the other one, that X in the picture-in-picture will move towards the bullet hole. And that's the beauty part. That way you can get it calibrated. You can send it again further. We've already started testing the squattier version with the laser rangefinder on some coyote hunts here locally, because they've started tournaments now because it's coyote season, or tournament-wise. I think a last shot was over 250 yards with a 6 arc.
Cool.
So it's fun. It's fun.
Can I add something?
Yes.
You guys don't have on the website that case that it comes in, which is a really nice padded zipper case. I don't know why y'all don't have that image on the website. Maybe that's just the girl in me.
So when we get the actual boxes that come in it, it's basically going to be a trifold box. I cannot get to where I need to get to. That literally, it's a box. It's like anything else in the world. It's a box that has a lift lid over it. It'll say Alpen Optics on the bottom part, and then on the middle where it's facing down on the product, it'll say discover the difference. You'll see the product, and it'll be in a foam carry case, the zipper related.
That case was nice. Like you could literally travel with that case and not worry about your scope getting banged up.
It's fine.
It should be on the website, Tyler.
Not until I get the final version.
Okay, that's fair.
Not until I get the final version. I'll send you, Sharinda, what the graphics will look like. That way you can ooh and
The
ah.
scope should be mounted on the dang rifle, Brenda.
That's another thing I'm going to have with the graphics design team that take the pictures. Is I'm going to take my camera. They're going to come out with me, and they're going to get pictures of the stuff mounted on the rifles, as it is practically used and not a monocular, if you will. So those are just generic pictures, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. That's all it is.
Okay.
So slow your roll, simmer down.
Just saying, I know y'all wasn't thinking about that, but you're gonna go ahead and take credit for it because I, nagged you about it.
Well, why else wouldn't I? So, and then you got, the red dots. The red dots are phenomenal. Had a lot of success with them so far, and I have a feeling when we get into I'm reading the comment. He said 630 grams. I never said I was good at math. I don't do the conversion rates. I do pounds and kilograms. I don't do grams at all. I don't.
It's a good thing you're not a drug dealer.
Pretty much it, right? Everybody would be dead. Everybody would be dead. I'd be doubling it up. With the red dots and having such a huge success, I'm hoping the thermals will have the same effect due to the fact that there are other competitions in the market that have a little well-known foothold in it. I'm hoping that we can come up and eventually start eating at the same table. Eventually, we shall see. We shall see.
Have you given a thought to on your red dots for pistols, including plate options?
The open version that is on the current website has a shim currently.
Okay.
It may not be pictured, but a shim is in there because I had to make it so. The enclosed has a RMR plate included as well, so you can mount the enclosed on an RMR. I've test fitted on a bunch of Kydex holsters, and it does not dig in a hip whatsoever. So the hard part is just getting your brain wrapped around a square in a holster. But it's great for LEOs, so I don't see why it wouldn't work for everybody else. It says it's only a point. No idea what the heck that means.
Now we have the correct measurement system that we should be using. Stones.
Stones.
All the way back to the Middle Ages in England. We're using stones, baby.
Well, here in America, we don't use stones anymore.
That's right.
We don't even use the metric system because God forbid if we did anything normal.
Drug dealers do.
Yeah.
If you work in a laboratory, you still do metric. You do grams and.
Back when Jim and Paul started the reload stones. It's where they're slingshot. Oh, Lord.
Now we're thinking wrist rockets away.
So, and that's really what's going on. I have, plenty of inventory to help support the year. I've just got to figure a way how to sell it to individuals that want to buy. That's the fun part, is finding those people. The buyers. And that's why I'm doing one more show in Illinois, and then I'm doing 9 TAC events to do the archery aspect.
I'm
You
sorry
should try
about
and get
Illinois.
on expert voice.
Expert voice?
Mm-hmm.
I will have to do some Googling on the expert voice, sir.
We will educate you.
Oh, I like education. It's good to educate while having fun.
Michael
send you the
agreed.
link.
It spends our money.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
No, it's fine. I'll
Yes.
use the company money.
What show do you have in
On the-
Illinois?
It is the Illinois Deer Classic in Peoria.
Okay.
Yep.
When did they move to Peoria? It's always been Springfield.
They moved it 2 years ago.
When is that?
So after you moved, Nick, they're like, well, screw this.
It's-
Route
I
is
don't blame
gone.
them. Springfield's terrible.
And I think that's why they moved it, was to get it closer to a bigger major city. Not that Springfield's not big, but it's not as big as Chicago. I can tell you that. They moved it 2 years ago. This is my first year going to it, and I heard last year was kind of a dud. So it's going to be really interesting for sure. For sure. So.
The only
Hey,
thing
question
keeping
for you.
Springfield afloat is state politics, government, and hospitals. That's all I'm
Question
saying.
for you, Tyler.
Oh, I can't wait. Hometown of Richard Pryor. Hell yeah.
I just got a text message asking me, when you go to TACT, will you be lending out rangefinders for people to look at while they're walking the
As long as you give me collateral.
Okay.
And it also depends on which rangefinder. Are you talking binoculars or are you talking handheld?
handheld was what they specifically asked.
Yep. As long as I get a driver's license, telephone number, or telephone, something to hold.
Not a
He
first
said-
child.
Oh, that's what they asked. What about firstborn? Because college
no.
is getting ready to come up.
We don't want kids collateral. Then we got to
Yeah.
take care of them.
That's why there's labor laws. I can't enforce them. I'm not
That's
China.
right.
I'm not China.
When you're in Peoria, I will recommend Alexander's Steakhouse.
Okay.
Is it still
Yeah.
open? I'm looking that up.
It's open in Peoria.
Alexander.
That's the only one. Best steak you'll get, I think. That's actually what Alexander's is known for is their salad bar.
The salad bar is excellent.
So it's a buffet of salad and steak. Done.
Well, the steak, it's one of those where you can
Well-
cook it yourself, or you pay the chef like $2 or $3 to cook it. I mean,
A gold bullion collateral. Yes, that's perfect. I'll take it. That's worth money. It's worth a lot more than anything else. Unless you adopt them and then they're a family, the label laws are less restrictive. Oh, it's a good
Okay,
idea.
that's funny.
That's a good idea. Sharinda, you do need kids, right?
No, thank you.
Why not?
come on.
Labor laws,
Yeah.
man. Take care of your
Look.
boy toy that you have there. Take care of him.
Like
I ain't
like
try-
you said, let them pinch off your stash now. Come on.
Yeah, nah, I got plenty of nieces and nephews and godkids that do that. Thank you very
Mhm.
much. The best birth control are other people's kids.
Bad thing is you've never met mine yet.
Well, if they're anything like their dad.
I'm a fucking peach.
Oh my, jeez!
A steakhouse to eat salad. Well,
Just
sometimes
beat
they
up the
offer,
host.
You gotta
they
have a
offer
good
salads for
salad.
steaks. That way you can eat it's kind of like having a Diet Coke to have a full flavored cake. It's the same thing. Makes you
Oh,
feel
no.
good about yourself.
I eat my steak, no doubt about it.
You're
But
eating your salad, getting your greenery in, and then you're going to eat the full fat off that steak.
yeah,
See,
then you
the
get your
salad
steak,
bar
your
includes the baked
potatoes.
potato.
Yep, fully loaded
So,
baked
yeah.
potato.
Make your homemade garlic bread on the grill there. It's good.
Oh, good old Texas toast. Woo.
yeah, the
Mm.
problem is I eat like 6 or 8 pieces before I ever leave the frickin' grill.
It's all right. You got a quality test.
That's right.
It's essential. It's
Mike,
Got to
it
make
was
sure the
such a good-
process works.
It was such a good place. It'd be my birthday dinner growing up every year. We would go to Alexander's every year.
We
Well,
had
Nick,
a
Drive up
place
from
up there
Texas.
called Prime Quarter.
I'm
I'll
not in
take you out.
Texas. I'm
Wherever
not in
the hell you
Texas.
Wherever the
I'm
hell
like 40 minutes from Sharinda.
oh God, you're near me. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I'm that closer to you now.
Oh, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Trina, let me know next time Tyler's in KC.
I was there
Will
last week.
That's
definitely
what she
go.
said. Yeah. If
I gotta go through there
downtown
next week.
if downtown traffic wasn't as bad as it's been, I would have considered going down to Pheasant Fest last weekend.
It's not
But
bad.
Actually, the traffic wasn't that bad.
Traffic's
Wait,
not bad.
They finished the construction down there for once?
No,
They did not, but even though it was First Friday, there was a dance competition, Big 12, and Pheasant Fest. Traffic wasn't that bad as long as you weren't in that 3 to 5:30 window.
are you north of Sharinda or south of Sharinda, Nick?
He
I'm
is west.
Northwest. I'm up by
Yep.
the racetrack, if you know where that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like 10 minutes from the racetrack. I can
He's
hear
north
the
by northwest.
Yeah,
Yes,
north
you're
by
near-
northwest.
You're near Olathe, north of the river.
I'm north of that. I'm up in Dot County.
Yeah.
Good old. We call
You're
it
way
Dot.
up there.
Mhm.
You're way up there.
I can be in a cornfield in 5 minutes from my house.
You're in Kansas. You're probably next to a soybean field too, if you ain't careful.
Yeah, you're
So-
not wrong.
Oh, and then I forgot to mention the stabilizers. Those are new. We have image stabilizing binoculars.
Oh yeah, you did tell about those. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't remember those, but yeah, I do.
Yeah, I remember those, but unfortunately, I'm
You
not
tell
at
more details.
no stage need those
Say again, Mike.
details.
Details.
So details. There's two versions currently. There's a 14 by 42 image stabilizer along with a 20 by 42 image stabilizer. Those I'm not familiar with on the weight. Stand by. It won't take me long. Let's see here. Normal. Come on. They are 644 grams on the 14 by. And then the other one. And yes, they do look familiar to other brands that are out there. Yes, they're both the same. They both weigh the same amount. 644 grams, which in normal poundage should be about a pound. Grams.
Pound and a half.
It is 1.4.
I said pound and a half.
Jim's the best.
22 ounces.
That
Okay.
sounds kind of. The way they look, I wouldn't have guessed them to be that light. Are you sure about that?
They look like Luke Skywalker's land speeder from Star Wars.
You're not wrong. Once you said that.
But they do look like other competitors out there.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do as far as
There's
style and
There
size.
is one factory in the whole world that makes them.
Yep.
I had a wonderful individual who is a well-known influencer at Iowa. I'm not going to name names, but he's a big YouTuber in the archery world. That's as far as I'm going to go.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh, you ripped off this? You ripped off SIG?" Like, well, no, not really, because Zeiss had the first patent of the stabilizers. So technically, SIG ripped off Zeiss.
Yep.
Silence is beautiful when you call people on their shit.
Yeah, it's always fun when you catch somebody and then they're just like,
Yeah. Shut your face. Move on. Appreciate it. Man, thanks for stopping by now. Take care now. Bye then. So, and that's really all that is new. I'm not planning on. I'm looking at different rifle scopes currently. Trying to refresh the current line that I have. Different reticles, different just overall appearance, making it more modern and not so dreary looking, if you will, because it's a black rifle scope. It is what it is. Trying to make it more modern with a more known reticle, either a trimmer reticle, Christmas tree, something a little bit more modern, not just a duplex or a Accuplex. It's old. I'm sorry. It's old. It's effective, but it's old. So Jim's hand's in the way. He locked in. Sharinda, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that I presented to you today?
Yes. The next text message I got, I don't know why they just don't come on the chat.
Yes, sir.
Several
Jim?
ladies are participating in Project Appleseed, and a few of them are asking for a Alpen scope recommendation to mount on their Ruger 1022s. What do you have to suggest, Tyler?
So I'm assuming 22 is 22 LR, right?
Yes.
Just to make sure
correct.
I'm correct. Any
Correct.
LPVO, low power variable optic.
I don't
1
even
by
know what the
4,
hell that means. Sure.
1x4, 1x6. You don't need nothing crazy when it comes to a 22. Honestly, a red dot would be more than adequate on a 22 if you have good eyesight.
Oh, the only thing with
No.
Appleseed is shooting 200 yards,
Yeah.
right, Mike? So I
Yeah.
think
No,
a 1 to 4, 1 to
it's-
6.
So, if you're shooting a known distance Appleseed, you are shooting up to 200 yards. If you're shooting a regular Appleseed, you have targets that are simulated. You're not supposed to show that in public. Get that down. You have targets that are simulated distance. So as you can see, they got smaller, and red dots will cover it up.
It's perfect. Line up, go.
No, the idea is to be accurate.
Yeah.
I'm not
Sure, you
really
get-
into the Appleseed stuff.
So,
Sharinda, write this one down. The Alpen Kodiak 1x4x24. That's the one I would probably
what?
do.
1
24.
by 4
One by
by
what?
24. 1,
Kodiak.
4, 2,
Kodiak, yeah.
4. SKU number is
Tyler,
2,
what's the skew?
2, 0, 4, 7. It also depends, Mike, if you want an illuminated reticle or not.
that
Yes.
would be. That
Yes.
could
like-
be.
You like triple in price when you go illuminated.
Well, it's just the problem is with illuminated, if you're also depending on if you're second focal plane or first focal plane, that red dot will swallow those targets instantly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why, especially for like a 1022, just that Kodiak for the price point.
Kodiak could be really Kodak, that one, or the 2.5 to 10.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's why I
Well,
used to
I
sell
mean, there's
those
gonna be-
magnifications all the time on 1022s.
So if their eyesight's a little on the poorer side, I would go the 2.5 to 10.
2.5 to 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I shot mine with a 3 to 9, but I also shot mine with a garbage scope that
Okay.
fogged up 3 shots in. So,
That's convenient.
well, that's what happens when you put
I have a
cheap stuff
question for you, Tyler.
Yes, sir. Shoot.
About your spotting scopes. Have you ever considered putting reticle on the spotting
Oh,
scopes,
the
an
price isn't
MOA
horrible on
reticle?
that either.
To be honest with you, Jim, we've talked about it, but at the price point, it is rather expensive. To do that, not saying it is not something we cannot do for sure.
Just take a marker, Jim.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get one that fine on 60 millimeter lens.
I'm kind of contemplating and kicking the can on doing a dual spotting scope. That way you have two eyes into one, kind of like Swarovski's what they do with theirs.
Yeah.
Maybe one eye has the reticle in it, or it's just in the
Right.
main prism potentially. I don't know how that would work, but I mean it could work.
Well, the idea is, of course, when you're actually down on the range, trying to see adjust your shooter's aim.
Yeah.
Three MOA right.
Yeah.
Two MOA up, and both MOA is MOA.
But that's what the target's for.
Yeah, but at 1,000 yards, it comes real hard to see.
Exactly.
Are you
Exactly.
interested in one with a reticle, Jim? Like, I know Bushnell
I
makes
am
their...
a little bit. Go ahead, Nick. Say again. I spoke over you.
You're good. Bushnell makes their one. I think it's called the Legend Tactical, and doesn't break the bank. I think it's right around the $650, $700 range. We have a Bushnell factory outlet store here in the KC area, and we get discounted prices on them. So I could always swing by there and take a look for you.
It's closed. Nick, did you double check to make sure they're
When
not
did it
closed?
close?
Like last year or last summer, I think. Let me triple check, but they are closing.
But Jim, I can issue an email out to the factory and see if they can't do some research, or I can reach out to a factory to do research. I know there's one that we've talked to, but I mean the price point with interchangeable eyepieces would have been at least over $1,000.
Stop there, please.
Yeah.
Let Nick and Sharinda figure something out. Something tells me Sharinda's right.
I can. I'll be over there by there
Now
tomorrow,
she's-
so or after work, so I can always run by.
Nick, she said in private chat it's still open. They are closing.
Doesn't shock me.
Okay.
Because that was all part of the company that owned RCBS and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Damn bean counters are getting in the way of every good time.
That's what they're there for, Jim.
You look and we're talking to the guy that's listed the
According
bean
to the
counter
website,
before
it's
this.
open at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Time are they open till? Because I'll be over there by about 4:30.
9 to 6.
Perfect. Swim by after work.
Tyler, Tommy
Mhm.
Boy wanted to know, where are the scopes manufactured at?
Like everybody else's. China.
It's just the glass that makes it clarity.
Well, that and the prism.
Yeah.
Now, there are other manufacturers that we do have in our arsenal. We have ones in Vietnam, Philippines, Taiwan, Korea. I mean, again, I know I've said it to you guys numerous times that we are one of the largest manufacturers in optics alone in the world. We don't make our own, yes, but that's why we're able to get the price points that we can get. If we made our own, we would be like Swarovski. Really expensive and only attract a certain amount of clientele. Not the everyday consumer.
About
Like-
75% of the optic market doesn't make their own.
No, they don't. And if you do, you know what you're doing, or you've got it down to a science, and you won't have a problem selling them, to be honest.
Yep. I always go back to the old Vortex looking at it that way because I've toured their place up in Wisconsin, stuff like that. You can tell the stuff that's made overseas on the Vortex line. And then you look at their razor, I think it's the UAG or whatever.
Still
That's
made
there.
in China.
I thought they made that here in the States now.
Nope.
I thought there was
Guess
one they were
what,
doing.
Nick? The only thing they make in the States is for the government.
That's
Consumers. The government.
And
Once they do that, consumers are not allowed to get those.
Yeah, and we didn't get to go in that room, unfortunately.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Everything is made overseas. Now, the good thing is they probably got a factory in Japan, and that's where they get all the good quality prisms, glasses, and the coatings. And that's where probably the UHDs are made, is in Japan. Now, Japan, there is a factory that has a factory or a assembling factory in California. So there could be them.
There's a couple of optics manufacturers in the Philippines too that Vortex and a couple other companies use too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the biggest difference is people decided to start hauling CNC machines over to China to cut the optics. So,
Yep. And if little Timmy Ding Dong doesn't know how to push a button correctly, it will not look right. That's the thing. That's the thing. From Joel. Lordy. Coffee again. God, that girl. You might as well just get her an IV and just hook her. Hook her up to it. Put her
I don't know how she sleeps.
just give her a port, and that way she can just connect it.
Tommy Boy, it's going to increase the retail price. Everything increases the retail price.
If anything is made here in America, you might as well just triple the price point. Because the crappy part about it is all the material is overseas already. Because we gave it to them.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of shot ourselves in the foot on that one.
Yeah, we don't produce brass over here anymore, and a lot of the steel isn't made here anymore, and a lot of the raw materials aren't made here anymore.
Nope.
It's all made overseas and then brought over here because a lot of that stuff happens to be less than environmentally friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not making it, then we're not causing the damage, so we don't care.
Exactly.
That's not our problem.
It's not our problem at that point. And
Yep.
people are very, very finicky when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know, that's why we have a Giants Prop 65 because of California.
Mm-hmm.
Just God forbid if there's a little lead for little Timmy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, Jim's a prime example. It doesn't look like lead's hurt him at all. That period.
Oh, you all love this, especially if like you talk about lead. I'm at Aldi's the other day.
Yeah.
And I get out of the truck and I look on the ground. I'm like, ooh, that's a wheel weight. I'm gonna grab that. Throw it in the truck. I'm like, I'll test it for lead when I get home. Haven't messed with it yet, but okay. Free wheel weight.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta consume a crap ton of lead for it to really do harm.
And by ground,
Yep.
he means on the neighboring car.
No, I did not steal it off the car. I did not break any laws. It was clearly laying on the ground. There was
Sure.
no car in sight.
Next to the car. Next
No.
to the car.
No.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
He kicked the wheel hard enough and
No,
eventually it fell off. Then it was on the ground.
You're
when he
making
picked it up.
fun of it, Tyler, but I've been in my shed outside
Yes, sir.
sorting wheel weights for 3 or 4 months now. Only
Oh,
my spare time.
Good.
How he figures out if it's lead or not as he licks it.
So, but yeah, it would be nice if we were able to bring some of that stuff back over here, but God, the cost on it would just be ridiculous. And then
Mhm.
unfortunately, people would complain. It's like, oh, it's so expensive. Why is it so expensive? Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's just, you can't. You can't. That's the hard part. Some companies can do it. Some companies can't. Teslas aren't even made in America.
Mm-mm.
You got to figure America sold out the manufacturers about 30 years ago.
30 to 40 years ago, easily.
Yeah, 30, 40 years ago, and it's not going to come back overnight.
Lead is only dangerous to birds with a gizzard. It grinds the lead up. I like Tommy Boy. So the wheel weight pliers on your dashboard are yours.
No, I didn't do that. They were putting me on the ground. It was one, so it's not like I'm gonna get maybe one projectile out of that thing if it's lead.
Maybe if it's actually pure lead, which I doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I figured it's like might as well pick it up.
It's zinc and everything else included. So
Yeah.
Nick, look for the letter Z on it.
Okay,
If it
I'll take a
has
look.
a major looking letter Z, it's zinc. My sorting has taught me that. Fe would be steel or iron. And of course, lead's a bit flexible. You should be able to bend that with a pair of pliers with one hand and the wheel weight in the other.
Lead's PB.
Yep.
All I know is I got to teach the 1-2 over how to cast again.
when are you going to teach Sharinda how to cast?
Well, that's what she wants to learn.
Oh,
she wants to learn. She's like, "Do you have any pots? Do you cast?" I'm like, "Yes, I cast. I can teach you casting. I can teach you powder coating. I can teach you whatever you want to know."
Don't teach her powder coating. No,
it's super easy. You have a toaster oven, a Cool Whip container, and good old
airsoft BBs.
Airsoft BBs? No, I didn't know. I didn't use that. I just used the Tupperware container and good old Elwood.
Eastwood.
I'm blanking on the name. Eastwood powder. That's what it is. Eastwood powder coating. Put that in there. Shake up cool. Make you a little chicken wire basket. Stack them up. Slide them in. Boom. Done.
Oh boy.
Hey, I've learned from a young age. I've sniffed so much lead from when we melted down lead from scrap bullets. I probably got lead poisoning.
That's your problem.
Hey, I can blame it on the wind we were at Greg's house. That was a bad thing.
Powder coating is an easy bake oven. Oh boy.
Yep. Oh yeah. Hey, Tyler, come on up. I'll teach you. We can do it. We'll have some whiskey. Put the fire out back.
You gonna take me out to dinner too?
Sure. I'll just throw some steaks on the grill. Oh yeah. Actually, I'll cook you some of my famous chicken wings.
Oh Lord, chicken wings. Chicken wing.
So Nick, I got my molds. I pretty much have all my casting stuff. I just haven't done it in a couple of years. So I'll take a picture and you just let me know what all you want me to bring. I even have some lead.
You don't even need to bring
You
anything.
need gloves, Trenda, and
I got to cast stuff, so
Got
just
that.
come on over.
I got gloves. I got apron.
By gloves, I don't mean those garden variety jersey gloves that are made like a T-shirt. Those are way
I
too
know,
light.
Jim. You told me which ones to get when I first tried it, and I got those.
What's PPE? What?
Personal protection equipment.
The thing that saves your eyeballs from burning molten stuff.
I've never used it. Trust me.
Oh,
Was it
I
a
don't use
challenge
iPro.
to do this with flip flops on?
I've
Nick,
done it in shorts. I've done it in t-shirt.
Nick, you're the guy with the angle grinder, just going to town, getting sparks lit up on your feet, your ankles, and all this other stuff.
If you would ask my dad how many times we've gone and used ankle grinders and wearing shorts and t-shirts, it happened.
But that's minor grinding. You're not laying into it.
Well, yeah, no. Still.
You're not sending sparks everywhere.
Yeah.
You're just letting the.
I will tell you, when you're casting, don't use like the Mechanics brand gloves. They do heat.
No, God,
when you put molten lead on them because they're a synthetic material, they melt and it burns even worse. You want welder's gloves is what you want. Leather, suede leather, welder's gloves.
Leather. You just want pure leather. All you want. So
That's what I got.
Wear is not proper PPE. Oh, it is if you're welding.
Welding gloves.
It is. It is.
So I take it. No Chuck Taylors either.
And Jason, there's only one bullet in the wall, so you're good.
Yeah, if you can only wear Crocs and underwear when you're welding.
Or if you're named Jason.
Yes.
Or if you're named Jason. Trumbo. He put a picture in the reloading room, his right kneecap, right knee, with the molten lead from the tinsel fairy on his freaking leg. And down between his toes. You even put a picture of it where lead was down between his toes. Tinsel fairy said, "Oh my God!"
But the
He
catch
laughed and laughed and laughed.
the underwear
Mike.
have to be Speedos.
They have to be what?
Oh,
Is that even underwear? Why don't we just do a banana hammock and be done?
There you go.
I don't know. What about the Duluth rubber ducky ones?
Those aren't banana hammocks.
Who buys from Duluth?
Too
T-shirts,
expensive
not
for
on-
me.
No, you get them on sale.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I like my armachillos.
Those pants are comfortable as hell. They have insulated ones. Those things saved me at Vegas. So, the guys, I mean, that's really it as far as what's new with Alpen. Nothing too crazy. Just stabilizers, red dots, and thermals. So I mean,
I noticed when Nick and I were there at Shot with you, we noticed you had quite a few. I'm assuming they were customers or people talking about potential big purchases. Was it profitable for you at Shot, or was it kind of a wash?
Well, you're not allowed to take orders at SHOT Show, but what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors.
Right.
Vegas.
He was actually your teacher, Dad.
Yeah. Well, you're probably setting up appointments. Hey, I can come and visit you and talk money then.
Definitely set up appointments while during the show. Now, we did get a lot of interest, we'll say, in the thermals and the red dots, and some in the stabilizers. So they did come off without a hitch. People liked them, so we just got to keep that momentum moving and trucking. Probably going to be visiting a lot more stores, since now I have a big giant rolling billboard, as Sharinda saw last week. It's literally a 3500 ProMaster van that has Alpen all over it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So it's free marketing advertisement. Hey, how about pistol scopes? No one is making them anymore because no one uses pistol scopes hardly anymore. I've had a lot of people ask about them.
All right, put the link up for your red dots.
A lot of people are asking about them, but it's just you can't put LPVOs on them because they don't work on revolvers, really.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of that's smaller than a niche market, Tommy, on that one.
I think it was Weaver was one of the last ones to make
Yep.
a revolver scope.
Yep.
Weaver hasn't made scopes in how long?
30 years.
10 years?
Yep.
It's been that long.
Feels like it.
Well, it does, yeah.
Like
in this industry.
Yeah. And it's just never took off, really.
Thermal's definitely the scope of the future because seems like everybody is coming out with the thermal. Even companies that you wouldn't even think of, their scope manufacturers are coming out with thermal. For instance, when we stopped by the Teslong booth, they've got a new thermal scope. So it's
everybody's coming out with thermals because it's all coming out of China.
Yeah.
So all the parts are pretty well affordable anymore. It depends on if you want a 384 core or 640 or whatever the new core is going to be in 6 months. That's going to be the determining factor. It really just depends. I guess, Sharinda, if you want to. I don't know when the dates are.
You don't have to.
I
Yes,
don't
you
know
do,
what
because
the
I
dates
sent them to you.
I don't remember. I've got too much crap going around in my brain.
Now, okay, so let's be clear. Yes, I do get stuff from Tyler because I am Tyler's unpaid administrative assistant. He pays me in products. But no, Tyler is actually coming to Wilderness's Women's Go Wild weekend, and he is going to teach a how to mount your scope class for the ladies.
And shoot if we get a range.
Okay, how many people do you need to have shoot?
It's not about how many people, it's about the range, having the space, or the private landowner letting us use the space.
Honestly, all we would need, Sharon, is 25 yards. We don't need a whole lot.
Yeah, we're working it out with the indoor range where the facilities is going to be at. As long as they don't have a competition that weekend.
Yeah, we just need 25 yards. Yeah. I mean, and that's so I have a customer service rep that wants to learn about how all this works. And the first thing I'm going to teach her on sighting in a scope is the old-fashioned bore sighting. That's what I'm going to teach.
So what I heard was you're bringing an extra person to Go Wild to help teach this. No?
I'm doing this at work.
No. You bring them to Go Wild.
I could. It is a female.
Then you definitely need to bring her to Go Wild. It's not like you have. It's not like you have to pay for her.
No.
I know some people.
I know. But no, that's trying to explain people bore sighting the old-fashioned way, not with tools like they have anymore, where you're putting something in the barrel that has a magnifier right in front of the scope. You take the bolt out, you line the bore at an object, and then all you do, put it in a vise so it doesn't move when you make the corrections on the rifle scope. And you just bring the reticles down to what you're seeing out of the bore. Now, y'all may have to correct me on this one. I use my shooting eye to line up the object because obviously I'm left-handed, so I put it up there with the bolt out, and I'm looking at it through my left eye. Now, I've heard people say looking straight at it to line up the target. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Dominant eye through the bore.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to get you on paper. So.
And that's the thing is I just want on paper at 25 yards. If I can get them to bore sight and get it close to paper, it's going to be on paper. Yeah, that explains it. Well, Sharinda, we are special. Don't ever forget it, or you'll never get free stuff ever again.
Sharinda, you're talking to another. I'm a lefty too, but I don't shoot left-handed. So
not anymore. You don't.
Yeah,
I never shot.
Damn.
I haven't shot.
Yeah, he only shoots his left hand. He doesn't shoot left-handed.
Yeah. I haven't shot left-handed
since I broke you that bad habit.
Exactly, about 15 years.
Ray, why are we so hostile?
I'm a father. I have to be hostile, especially with Nick.
Yeah, it's my oldest boy, my 13-year-old. He's like, Dad, can I just hit you once in the stomach, just as hard as I can? It's like, sure.
Oh.
He's like, what's going to happen? It's like, well, two things. Nothing to me. You, we'll just make sure your mom's here to make sure everything is okay.
We'll pull an Adrian Peterson.
No. I won't hit him. I'll just give him. It's called putting the fear of God into him to make him second guess his decisions. Consequences for your actions.
Do what my dad did. Pull the belt out. That's what my dad did.
Belts are only effective if they're metal side only. I'm mean.
Going back to bore sight and the scope.
Yeah.
To me, the tricky part was leveling your reticle to the actual rifle. So you're going to need at least two small bubble levels. Put one on the rifle, one on the scope, and get your
the torque from your eyepiece to your main objective, if you will.
Yeah. That way you're looking through and your reticle's not sitting there at an angle. It's
true. But I mean, I've mounted plenty of them. But yes, as beginners, it would be wise to put either two small torpedo levels on one of the eyepiece and one on the objective side, just to make sure that when you tighten it down, you're not tightening down one side more than the other.
Right.
So, but again, if you're using a torque spec torque wrench, it's equal regardless on anything, front or back aspect. But no, I'm going to teach her bore sighting the old-fashioned way, and then show her this is what it looks like when you're using modern tools by shoving something through the barrel. I've never trusted laser dots out of a bore, period, because I don't know if that laser has been calibrated at all. And one true test is to turn it on, put it on a flat table, and roll it, and see if if it's a tight spin. Yeah, it's close. It's a big oblong spin. Throw it away or return it. It's not worth it.
Back when I used to mount optics at the gun shop that I worked at, even when I was part-time, people would bring the gun when they knew I was working. I never used any of those. I just used bore sight, lined it up. I'm like, here you go. You're on paper. You should be on paper.
Yeah, you're on paper 25 yards.
Yep.
You go 100 yards, you're not going to be on paper. Too much of a guess. I always start at 25 yards. That is the most... Even if I don't bore sight it, at 25 yards, you're gonna hit something close if you're not on paper, and then you can make your adjustment from there and whatnot. Buddy of mine told me that what he does, or what him and his dad always did, is he mounted the scope, racked it all the way on the zoom, shot it, racked it all the way back to the lowest, shot it, made the adjustments, did it again, and if it hit the same exact spot, he's done. That's what he did, and it worked every time. I don't know how it did it, but it did it. I have no idea.
I could understand on a second focal plane,
because
it's technically zeroed at full power magnification.
Yeah,
but first focal, interesting.
Yeah, that's what I want to try because I got a first focal plane scope. I'm going to go on a 6.5 PRC.
It's way different, I'll tell you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The reticle changes size, so does the object.
Yeah. So
that's first focal plane. The reticle changes size, the optical image changes size.
I don't even know if I have a second focal plane scope anymore. I think I sold them all.
I got both.
They both have advantages and disadvantages.
Anymore, I think. Well, maybe my LPVO is probably second.
If it's first and you have a red dot, you'll know immediately that you will hate it.
Yeah, I'll have to look.
Because you will never see the red dot at the lowest magnification at all. They have their places, first focal plane and second focal plane. If you're doing long distance shooting, you want first all day long. If you're doing 500 yards less, you could probably get away with a second and be fine. as long as you know your ammo, your minute angle, and whatnot. So I do hear a lot of shooters about holding and all this other stuff. I'm like, why are you just complicating everything? Just stop. Just stop it.
Do the damn math and forget it.
Yeah, just stop with the holds and all this other stuff. And that's where I'm kind of leery about ever bringing on a Christmas tree reticle or a trimmer reticle, because you're introducing a whole lot more complications, and people are going to blame the optic. It's broken, it doesn't work, but it's not between the guy that's pulling the trigger and his brain, because they don't know how to dope correctly, or they don't know the minute of angles or any of that stuff. And that's the scary part about getting it overly complicated.
And now we're not selling cocaine or heroin. We're talking about data on previous engagements. Dope.
Dope. The better type of dope, not the stuff that, well, dope can kill you. So
only if you're hard enough to pull that trigger.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I mean, there's, I don't know, it's catch-22. It's catch-22.
The bad thing about this, I think a lot of people don't like to go out and shoot enough to get their dope. They just want to be able to go out.
They don't know
they
how.
Just want to, yeah.
It's just money.
Wow.
That's all it is. It's just money to buy ammo. You don't need to buy the stupid expensive ammo. What you do is when you're sighting it in, you buy the cheapest ammo that you can get, $1.25 a round, we'll say. It's still expensive. I get it, but blame your government. That's all I can tell you. Or you go out and sight it in, and then what you do is you buy the round that you're going to shoot when you go on a hunt or target practice or whatever. Re-sight it in. If it's there and it's there, then you're done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why some people always. When I went out to a guided hunt a couple weeks ago for Neil Guy, there was a sniper there, and a police sniper. He was retired, and he was a younger kid. He just couldn't do it anymore, and ranged the animal at 300 yards, and he was zeroed at 300 yards. Missed. He missed 3 different times. It's like, dude, how are you a sniper? It's like, well, there's a difference. I'm not shooting 300 yards at 50-yard engagements. It's like, it's still, I'm reading you the measurements. How do you miss?
Are you sure he was a sniper, or did he claim to be a sniper?
That was the constant joke during the rest of the weekend. It's like, remember that time where you claimed to be a sniper, but yet you couldn't shoot a broadside of a barn?
Most law enforcement snipe shootings are within 50 yards.
Yeah, they're about 50 yards, if that. You might get lucky and get 75, but still, it's all the same.
Yeah,
it's still the same.
The numbers are science. Wind is magic, black magic.
The wind's the evil Knievel.
You bet, black magic.
Because I was able to take down a Neil Guy at 300 yards, putting it 2 inches above his shoulder, and just dropped it. So, and all I did was just pull the trigger. I knew what the scope had. It was sighted in at 200 yards or 250 at 0. Aimed a couple inches above it, and dropped it. It's all you got to do. You don't need to complicate it by going through your book of magic wizardry. It's just knowing your gun and what your scope is. That's all it is.
My favorite law enforcement snipers used to have a quote: "You want to know your gun? Shoot your gun. Period. Done. Case closed."
Yeah. I mean, if you want to know your gun real well, there's no reason to do shooting competitions. Find a 1,000-yard range. Shoot it. See what it can do. See how bad the bullet drop is at 500 yards. Then just start.
I'll give you a good example. I went to Raton, New Mexico, to the NRA. Big range out there. What the hell is the name of it?
I can't remember.
Whittingham Center.
Anyway, yeah. What's that, Mike?
Whittingham
Center. That's right. Anyway, I was out there, 1,123 yards at the Steel Buffalo. I was
Yep.
shooting my Ruger M77 308 stock rifle reloads. I was trying to shoot by holding over. I wound up hitting that damn buffalo at about 60-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
I was holding at the top of the trees. That's where my reticle crossbar was, and that's how I hit the buffalo. The next day, I adjusted my scope. 36 MOA. I had to adjust my scope from 100 yards.
Yes, sir. It's all about getting out there and shooting.
Yep.
I mean, again, it's expensive. Any good hobby is expensive. I have 3 3D printers that I print constantly, nonstop. They were not cheap, but they work. You got to use it. You use it or you lose it. So, but yeah, I mean that's really it, guys, on my end. Honestly.
Well, on that note, Tyler, if you don't mind, I'm going to call you to say goodnight to you. It was a pleasure seeing you again, sir.
Of course, sir. Sharinda, do you have any more questions, comments, or concerns?
No, but I will tomorrow.
Oh, goody. I cannot wait. Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. Gentlemen, it's been fun. If you need anything, you can get with Sharinda because she's going to bug me regardless. If you guys need anything, you want any recommendations, just get with Sharinda.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yep.
Chris, Nick, Ray, I
Okay.
guess Sharinda. It's been a
Good
hell-
seeing you again.
Good to see you,
See
Tyler.
you again.
Talk to you
Y'all
tomorrow,
together.
Tyler.
Oh, goody. Can't wait. I'll make sure to hear the phone call.
I'll text you.
Turn that spam filter on.
Oh, yeah. All right, gentlemen and ladies. Y'all have a good night, audience.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you.
Chris, I know you do a lot of long range shooting. What do you do? Do you hold over? Do you dial it in? What do you do?
I usually will dial in unless it's, 1 year, what was it? That bull I took at 538 yards. It was getting ready to move, so I didn't have the chance to dial in. I just did a holdover. But like we're talking about, I'd shot so many rounds through that 300 PRC. I knew exactly what it would do. But I did have my dope card, so I could easily dial it in.
I mean, I still consider myself a novice, but it is kind of nice to know what your holdover is in case you have something that's a little bit further out than what you're used to. So I like to practice at my holdovers and make sure they're still on point.
Well, it also comes down to, too, is like Tyler kind of alluded to, is which scope are you using? If you got capped turrets, you're not dialing it in. You have to know
Right.
your holdover.
Mhm.
So that's what I've always had to do because where I shoot, I've only got 200 yards max. So I know what my holdovers are for the 200 yards, but it could stretch any further than that. I wouldn't have a clue.
But like he kind of said with the reticles, if you've got a Christmas tree reticle, if you get out there and shoot, you'll learn how to use that reticle.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Excuse me.
So how's your dad doing?
Still in the hospital, 3 months and going. So
I thought he was supposed to get out.
he was supposed to, and then he ended up with some other issues going on. And he went from hospital to rehab facility back to the hospital.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
I'll probably end up back up there probably April-ish is what I'm thinking.
It definitely puts a kibosh on the gun shooting and gun projects. And
Oh, especially when you also work for the government too, when you don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
That's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
That is a lot of stress for you.
Yeah, we all think we're going to be good in our office, but with the stuff you've seen, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of need to get a hold of the Congress critters and get them to get involved in at least the VA. So, because it's starting to affect quality of service. So, and that is the one area we don't need to affect quality of service because it was already bad as it was.
Yeah.
Well, from somebody that works inside, I think the biggest issue is you hear certain things in the news and the communication just isn't filtering down from on the inside from like all the way from the top down. Because I think it honestly, from what we've seen, it still sounds like they're working out the final plan as to how they're going to streamline stuff and fix stuff. And I'll tell you right now, from working government between my military and my adult career after, yeah, there are some places and probably positions that do need to be cut because they're wasteful. But as to what that looks like, I have no idea. And I think when you're low man on the totem pole, you're going to be the last one to find out.
Yeah.
All right, gang. So here is our March patch of the month. As usual, has to do with St. Patty's Day. He's got some NVGs. I'm not sure what gun he's got.
It looked like a PS90, FNP90.
Oh, could be.
You also have the other patch that showed up, Mike, too, with it that I'm showing.
I love it.
That's funny.
Nice. There's an entire series of those.
Yeah.
With all the different things. That's fun. So, but yeah, swing over to Patriot Patch Company. Or you can go to, yeah, I'm too tired to throw out and stuff. And yeah, so you check the show notes. It's got the links. So,
Hey, Nick, there's some fun stuff for you that I'm working on. Now I got a little more time.
338 arc? Or no, is that 86?
300 grain, 350. Finally got the stuff in to do it.
Yeah, I got convinced on 6 arc at shot. So
I've got it in an AR platform. It's fun.
that's what my build's going to be, is an AR build. So,
of course, then like I showed you guys, I did pick up that nice rifle from Bighorn Armory at the local shooting range. Had a benefit dinner and got a steal on that. And honestly, when we were up in Montana shooting that rifle, it didn't kick as bad as I thought it was gonna. It honestly felt like a 12 gauge. I was like, oh, this is fun.
what's your thoughts on that Match X?
Dude,
That
got to shoot that at that pierce range. For the price point, that thing is phenomenal.
I shot it at range day. Oh my gosh, that thing is flat.
Yeah. The trigger's nice. I mean, the fit and finish, it was. I tried a bunch of ammo in it. 115s, 124s didn't have issue. The 147s, it would shoot about 6 or 7, and then it would stovepipe. So I just, for whatever reason, and it could be just it needs to be broken in a little bit more. I don't know, but I was like, well, I've got all 124 stuff to load anyway for that TTI combat. So I'm like, I'll just go with what cycled really well. But yeah, I was impressed for it. And I mean, for the price point, you're not going to beat it.
No.
I know there was a lot of initial concerns because when they first came out with the 2311s, especially in the 10 millimeter, they had some feeding issues, and you probably saw like John Patton and a few other guys that reviewed it, and they had issues. But I think they've gone back and forth between their manufacturer over in Turkey and when EAA imports it, and I think they've got the feedback and they fixed it. And I know I've seen some other people, well, what about the Match and Max X? I'm like, I've had a few people ask me, I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you this. Aluminum frame compensator versus steel frame. You're going to get the weight of the steel frame on the Match. It's aluminum frame, so it's a little light, but you got the compensator. It's really what you want to do. Because the Match is, I've had a friend that I bought one for, and we did the paperwork, and he shot that, and he loves it. And then, of course, the Match X comes out, and I was like, well, I got mine. He didn't like that, but it's good for him, Bill's character. Of course, I told him I can order you one. But on that Bighorn Armory Smith & Wesson 500, I don't want to get into casting. It's just I don't have the time to start doing another thing on the reloading front. But I did find the nice thing about Bighorn is they actually have their own reloading manual. I think I put that in the Facebook chat. And I found a company, they're out of Arizona, Matt's Bullets. He makes hard cast bullets for a lot of stuff. And pricing wasn't too bad. And he's about 2 or 3 weeks out. Emailed him within about I think an hour later, he got back to me. He's like, oh, yeah, what are you shooting? And went back and forth. He's like, yep, those 440s would be perfect because they ordered a bunch and actually tested them. So when I get paid, that's what the next thing we'll do is order a bunch of those. So I have a feeling I'll start shooting that rifle. It was that nice. And of course, it should be for the price. I see Running with Scissors comment in YouTube about the suppressor tax. I don't see the tax going away. It might in the next couple of years, but I think that's going to be a hard push. I can see the times getting faster from what I've been hearing with the new ATF, Cash Patel and everybody pushing. I think the turnaround times will be even faster. Because I'm starting to see some of that with the trusts coming back within a week. And usually the trusts are always the ones that take longer.
I don't see the government wanting to get rid of free money.
No, because I had somebody in the office the other day, we were talking about it, I looked it up on my phone, and I think last year they made like 1.8, 1.9 million on tax stamps alone. And that's, of course, that's suppressors, short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, other weapons.
AOWs. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I don't see them wanting to give that up. It could happen. Maybe the right lawsuit. I mean, we are kicking the ATF in the butt with a lot of stuff now. So I think there's some foundation there to challenge that and have a really good chance.
I think that number's a little low, Chris. Because that's only 9,000 tax stamps.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought too. I was like, 1.9. I was like, shit, you can't get stuff in half the time. I'm like, there's got to be more than that. So yeah. Maybe that was from like 2 years ago because the numbers went up. I can't remember. It's been a few months.
Anyway. Shout out to Tyler for coming on. Good luck to him avoiding horrendous harassment. We've all been on the receiving end of that, so we know what that's like. Good grief. Poor guy. Definitely cool to have him come on and talk about some of the newer stuff. And so if you see him out at a show, tell him thank you. And on that note, anybody got any shout outs?
No.
Alrighty. Keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the mill surf short bus.
Teach them shoot and reload when they're young.
Shoot smarter, not harder.
Support the Second Amendment. Local, national, state organizations. You can also call your Congress critters and all your elected representatives. Let them know how you feel, but do it nicely. And if you're struggling, mental health issues, 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Or you can reach out to Walk to Talk America too. But they're not a crisis intervention. They're more of a long-term. So, all right, folks. Now that I'm finally on antibiotic, hopefully by the end of this week, I should be feeling a lot better. So thanks for hanging with us. And everybody have a good night. Thanks.
Right.
Good night.